It's time to talk about the big mess around The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, really, I haven't seen such a thing on the internet since the release Star Wars The Last Jedi. And here, whoever is complaining claims the exact same thing as back in the day. A feminist political message that destroys our favorite game. It gives all haters to think that they can actually send Neil Druckmann, one of the most gifted and talented directors and writers ever in the world of gaming, death threats. Death threats! Which is shocking to me, not to mention that Laura Bailey is going to go through hell very soon, after the game is released, while she was just doing her job, actually. Well, let's try to start from the beginning and understand why the internet is just being foolish about the whole mess of The Last of Us Part 2. Of course, I'm warning you right now, there is a lot of spoilers in this video for the second game. For anyone who didn't see the leaks and don't want to see it, don't watch this video and don't get into the comment section right now. You'll find out anything. I'm not removing anything, not the dislike section, because I want to see how much people will actually dislike my video without ever listening to what I have to say, actually. And I just want to provoke a discussion among the viewers and hear what they think about the plot of the game and what I have to say. I really want to hear what you can say to me that I haven't known until now. So please listen to all I have to say and then go and curse me in the comment section. Alright, let's talk about the game. Let's talk first at what was in the leak and why people are so upset. The whole leak is the size of an hour and a half, something like that, 2 hours of a leak from the actual game, which is actually, the game is 40 hours long, so we should remember that. The leak includes scenes from the game, some of them are really important, and we have some kind of order of events without any proof, of course, except for the actual leaked scenes that were posted online. These scenes led to a plot which was written by the basis of the leaks, which eventually came to Reddit. The most important thing that came out of the leaks, and now this is the final spoiler warning, is that we have a character, a new one, called Abby. Abby is a character who was the daughter of the doctor that Joel killed in the end of the first game. She succeeded in her revenge against Joel and killed him in a brutal way in front of Ellie's eyes. This leads Ellie and Abby to chase one another throughout the game. We don't know exactly who we play as, although most of the rumors right now in the internet says that this is Abby, as the second half of the game is actually focusing on her journey. And it was pretty much all that was leaked and caused the huge mess that is correctly occurring in the internet, Before I start talking about the whole story in detail and why people are acting like man babies and stupid idiots, I just want to say my opinion about leaks. I love the way the game is heading. It is clear that this time they have decided to go in extreme direction, and the story is going to go as far as we can get by Naughty Dog and all of the crew that worked on this game for goddamn 7 years. I gotta say the truth, I'm quite pleased with the direction, and in the end we just got to remember, we all love Joel and think he's amazing, but he is a shitty person, and this is impossible to give him a respectful death because it won't make such a logical reason for the screenplay to give a man who was shitty and had so many enemies and literally doomed the humankind in the first game for Ellie to have an honorable death. It just doesn't make sense, so you gotta remember that. And everything in the leak just gave us the moment he died. He will likely sacrifice himself for Ellie. This is the build-up they're going towards too, so I don't think that he's just gonna die without any justification, without any justifying to the death itself. I think they're gonna build it in a proper way and actually giving us a reasonable reason for his death. So let's wait for the actual game. We have like 95% of the game that wasn't leaked online, and everything who was leaked except for Joel and Abby scenes is actually can be fanfiction. We know only that there is a scene between Abby and Ellie. We know we play as Abby at some point, we don't know how much or how long, and we don't know if Joel is dying in a respectable, let's say, if he's sacrificing himself for Ellie and everything, and you know, that's it for the day. So let's talk about the most important thing now. This is obviously the reactions of people around the internet for the leaks and what they think about it. As expected, most people who waited to play the game didn't like it when they got the right to watch their death of their beloved hero without any justification for them. And the responses weren't not delayed to come. Death threats on Neil Druckmann, sending apologies to Troy Baker. This is really funny for the treatment he received from the writers as Joel, and most important, inventing stories about the treatment of the workers within Naughty Dog company. 70% of the crew that worked on Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us Part 2 were leaving the company because of Neil Druckmann and his evil means and everything. This is bullshit, alright? We know and we have proof only for Amy Hennig to leave the company, we will get to that soon after in this video, and for 15 workers that were actually part of the design group of Uncharted 4 to leave the company for creative differences. This doesn't show anything about Neil Druckmann being a dick to people. It actually just shows that not everyone is capable of working that long on a video game and make the sacrifice that Neil and the other crew members did. And the same happens to Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, Dan Houser left the company of Rockstar, Leslie Benzies left the company, a lot of the original people who actually created the company left, and now people are saying that Naughty Dog is shit because in their opinion, The Last of Us Part 2 isn't good as Red Dead Redemption 2. And you know, you should wait for the actual game before you make that kind of a, let's say, opinion about it, and don't call it a fact because you haven't played the goddamn game, you know, so yeah. Let's try to continue about it. Where do I start? I suppose you might want to start by asking whoever who is watching this video right now and don't like the outcome of the leaks and the plot, please, I have a very simple request for you. Don't spoil the game for people who don't want to hear about it. Don't want to wait for the reviews, don't want to give this game a chance and play the actual, let's say, 95% of him that weren't leaked. Cool, that's your choice, I'm not going to tell you to do something else. But please don't ruin this game for the people that were waiting for it for 7 years. Just don't buy it, believe me. If they will get a financial damage, it will be very painful, much more than spoiling the game for other people to Naughty Dog. If you won't buy the game, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people is not going to buy the game, it will hurt them very much. So don't be a dick, just don't buy the game. It will send the right message if you want to send that kind of message. Let's continue. And now I just want to take you back to the beginning of the video. I mentioned Star Wars The Last Jedi and everything that were controversial in this film. This film was pretty much the reason why Daisy Ridley and Kelly Marie Tran wiped out all of their social network accounts, you know. They were simply destroyed throughout the internet after the movie came out, while all they did was actually just their work. They got a script, they had to act, and they did. So I want to ask you something. Laura Bailey is one of the most biggest, talented actresses in the history of video games. Please don't ruin her life too. She didn't write the game, she just did her job. She didn't ask or meant to be Abby, she just did her job as an actress, alright? About Neil Druckmann? Well, I don't think, but apparently we should remind everybody that this is still the man who wrote Uncharted, directed the 4th title in the series, and wrote completely by himself The Last of Us Part 2, the first in the series that came out and became the goddamn favorite game of all time. So believe me, if he wrote Joel is dying like that, there is a reason. We just got the moment, not the actual cause or the reason for why it happened. So let's wait and see why they are doing this, ladies and gentlemen. This is pretty goddamn, let's say, extreme to just shit on a man's legacy like that after he created so much masterpieces and literally make our childhood better. So let's be reasonable for a moment. And now for the biggest claims against the game. I heard a lot of homophobic comments in the internet about Abby, for it is a muscular character and not being a feminine figure, which led to people beginning to call her transgender. It's ugly, it's disgusting, and I don't mean, there is no reason to justify homophobia just because a video game, and this story just shows just like how much racism was back in the day against Kelly Marie Tran in the time when Star Wars The Last Jedi were released, how much America and pretty much the whole world still lives in the past. So stop doing that. She's not trans, she's just very muscular, and makes sense because her life was destroyed by Joel and Ellie and she wants revenge, so she actually prepares herself for the kind of revenge. She's not trans, she's actually a girl, so please stop being an idiot. It's kind of insulting people that are homos and, lesbians and trans, and let's not be that kind of judge. Let's not judge these characters like that, because if you're gay or lesbian or bisexual or, let's say, trans, I think you would be very insulted and offended that everywhere you go in the internet you just see trans, Naughty Dog is shit, Naughty Dog is shit. No, let's not do this kind of things. One last thing I want to refer to is the claims that Naughty Dog got rid of Amy Hennig because Neil Druckmann was jealous of her and wanted to take over the company, and then created a terrible work environment and a nasty treat for his workers and employees. Wow, this is just the perfect Hollywood movie. This is insane. So let's try to talk about why this is really a nonsense that people have invented, because it's really devastating for them to think that because Joel was killed by a muscular girl that everything is a part of a big conspiracy, that the company has gone woke, gone broke and everything, and this is just bullshit, Well, let's put things a little bit more accurate. Amy has interviewed several times on the subject on why she left Naughty Dog, and she said multiple times, I left Naughty Dog because of creative disputes and differences, and I always enjoyed working there. Do you really think that if Neil was kicking her out by force, she wouldn't have talked about it right now? I mean, Me Too is already a movement that changed the whole world, and if Neil was a shit and a dick to her, we would have known about it until now, and she wouldn't have talked about him so fondly on every occasion she can. So please, have a brain, will you? So let's continue with that. Amy left since the success of The Last of Us project, who was actually, she had nothing to do with it and she wasn't working on the project because, despite all the rumors of people, Naughty Dog thought it would be a good idea to go after The Last of Us, obviously, in a more dark and realistic and mature directions in their game, in different than the previous entries in their company. I mean, from Crash Bandicoot to Jack and Dexter, and they went to Uncharted, and now they're doing The Last of Us. This is pretty magnificent change, and Amy, as one of the first people to step foot into this company, didn't agree with this vision, so she left. This is very reasonable and understandable. She always talked about Neil Druckmann positively and just was absolutely, I don't know, how do you even explain it? Just read her interviews. She always talks fondly about him, she always tweets about him and says he's a legend, he did an amazing job, he deserves this award, he deserves that award, Uncharted 4 is great, she always does that, so stop being an idiot. Honestly, this is just the trend right now to hate The Last of Us and Neil Druckmann, so have your own opinion, check the full story and then decide if you hate Neil or you don't. Alright, let's continue. And if you hate Neil, hate him for the game he wrote, not for abusing workers that it never actually occurred, according to no actual proof around this, so yeah. Alright, let's continue. There is another claim that she never played Uncharted 4 because it was not her vision, and this is also nonsense because last year she interviewed and said that she was playing Uncharted 4 and she was really enjoying it, and a lot of changed since the moment she left the company, so yeah, please be reasonable about all of this. In conclusion, my point is very simple. Give the game a chance. Give you a specific moment. I mean, the leak just gave you a specific moment and you burn all the bridges because of it. That's now not how grown-up people behave. And most importantly, don't act like that because a video game. I mean, everybody's just ruining the internet right now over a goddamn video game. This is insane. This is not real life. There is other life except for The Last of Us Part 2, and you know, eventually people have worked hard for 7 years and didn't slept or eat and worked more hours when they should and haven't got paid for it to give you the high level product you deserve due to all your support. Don't burn it like that. Don't ruin it like that. And about, I just said, I know I said something really problematic about people not getting paid for working for The Last of Us. You know, if you do more hours, you get paid only for the more hours you do and not for as a full wage. That's something really understandable in all the places you work in. If you go and work 7 hours for your wage and you actually do 8.5 hours because there was more work, you won't get paid for it extra. You just do the work because you care about the place. So please be reasonable about all of this. And if you're not satisfied, I guess that's okay. I won't make you buy the game, you know, but I just have a suggestion, an offer, a peace offering, let's call it like that. What about supporting all those poor people you think that there is in Naughty Dog that worked on the game and got bad treatment? I know, if you want to believe that story, support them, give them the money. You don't have to pay Naughty Dog, you don't have to pay Neil Druckmann, you just have to think that people worked very hard on this game and they deserve the chance to get paid for it, so please support them. And in the end, you know, just a video game, let's not ruin the internet over it, let's not go to Assassin's Creed or Cyberpunk or every goddamn trailer for every goddamn movie and TV show right now and just say Joel was killed by a golf club transgender, oh. No, that's idiotic and really stupid. Let's be reasonable, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to hear what you think about all of this, and I'm very, very sorry for my bad grammar of English. You know, I'm not talking in English every day, and I just wanted to do this video in English to get to as much as people as possible, because I don't think that there is enough people that will watch this video in my country. So I just want to get to as much as people as possible and try to change their minds about all of this and try to make them be reasonable. This is a very long video, I know, I'm sorry about it, I just had to express my opinion about all of this. And most importantly, please be reasonable, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, I would love to hear what you think, and that's it. I won't turn off dislikes and likes, and I won't turn off my comment section. Let's hear what you gotta say. I'm ready. Bring it on, ladies and gentlemen. And let's wait for The Last of Us Part 2 coming out this June. Play it and venture on it if we want to. Just let's experience the full thing. Thank you.